Here's a confession I kept locked tight. Didn't breathe a word of it to Tommy or Eddie, not even to Mom, when I'd scratch out those shaky letters later. On February 13th, 1968, I huddled in a foxhole, a dirt cradle in Vietnam's wild heart, bugs shrieking like demons in my ears, and I was so scared I nearly sobbed, my M14 hugged close like it could shield me from the panic clawing at my throat. I'm Johnny Carter, a kid from Ohio turned grunt. And just yesterday, February 12th, I'd lived through hell, an ambush where bullets zipped past my head, my M14 spitting 50 rounds into a jungle that gave nothing back, my olive drab fatigues plastered with mud, red dust from Pleiku a week ago turned to sludge on my boots. Now, not even a full day later, I was here, sunk in a pit barely wider than my shoulders, the air wet with rot, the night alive with insect wails that drilled into my skull, my breath short, my eyes burning, my fingers digging into the rifle stock. Back home, I'd sprawl on the grass with Mary and her giggles soft as we counted fireflies under a big Ohio sky. The crickets a gentle hum. Here, the stars peeked cold through the canopy, the bugs a relentless roar, and I was alone, 20 years old, teetering on tears I'd swore I'd never shed, wondering if every night would be this. A war against shadows I couldn't fight, a fear I couldn't outrun. February 13th hit me like a weight I couldn't shake off, my body still humming from yesterday's chaos. Hands jittery from those 50 blind shots I'd fired into the jungle, ears buzzing with a phantom ring that wouldn't quit. We'd barely slept, back at Campanari by 1400 after the ambush, my cot creaking under me, mud flaking off my boots onto the red dirt floor, my fatigue stiff with grime, Tommy snoring 3 feet away while I stared at the tent ceiling, replaying every crack of gunfire, every snap of leaves. By noon, Hayes had us up again, his voice a whip cracking through the haze. Alpha Company, Sector 5, move out. And there we were, 10 of us, same crew from yesterday. Me, Tommy, Eddie, Big Mike, Hayes, Jenkins, Ruiz, Peters with his leg bandaged, 2 others whose names I still fumbled, trudging back into the green. 2 miles west, my M14 bouncing against my shoulder, its strap cutting a red groove into my skin, my olive drab fatigues damp with sweat, the red dust from Pleiku now a muddy streak up my legs. My boots squishing through wet earth that hadn't dried since the drizzle soaked us. The march was quiet, heavy, the jungle pressing in, trees 10 yards off, their branches tangled, leaves dripping from yesterday's rain, birds screeching high, bugs starting low, a drone that prickled my neck. I kept my head down, counting steps, left, right, left, trying to drown out the ambush's echo, the way bullets had buzzed my helmet, the way Peters had screamed, blood blooming on his leg 20 yards up. Tommy walked 3 feet left, his red hair dull under his M1 helmet, his boots sloshing, muttering, "Gonna be a long one, Johnny." His voice flat, no grin this time, his hands tied on his rifle, his eyes flicking sharp. Eddie trailed 5 feet back, his glasses fogging, his small hands clutching his M14, his breath puffing fast. "Think it'll happen again?" he asked, soft, scared, and Big Mike growled 4 feet right. "Don't jinx it, kid." His big frame steady, his silver ring muddy, his jaw set hard. I didn't answer, couldn't, my gut twisted, my chest tight, the jungle a wall. I couldn't see through, every rustle a threat, every shadow a ghost of yesterday. Hayes halted us at 1600, a clearing barely 15 yards wide. The trees thick, their trunks dark and slick, the canopy a green roof blotting the sky, the light fading into a bruised dusk, gray, and purple streaks bleeding together. "Foxholes, dig him now," he barked, his sunburned face tight, his cap crooked, that scar of his glowing faint in the dim, his boots sucking at the mud as he paced. I dropped my pack, the canvas thudding wet into the earth, and unstrapped my entrenching tool. A short shovel, its blade chipped from drills back at Fort Dix, its handle splintered, rough against my calluses, stained with oil and dirt from months of use. 2 per hole. Hayes snapped, his voice cutting over the hum of bugs waking up, and I paired with Tommy, his pack landing 3 feet left, his helmet tilting as he rubbed his neck, his breath sour. "Cozy little grave, huh?" I nodded, my throat dry, my hands fumbling the shovel, yesterday's mud still under my nails, the ambush a drumbeat in my skull. Crack, crack, crack. The dirt gave easy, wet and soft from the rain, yielding under the shovel as I stabbed down, my arms burning after 10 swings, sweat rolling down my face, dripping into the hole, mixing with the puddle forming at the bottom, the earth cold against my knuckles as I scooped it out, mud smearing my fatigues, my boots sinking with every step. Tommy dug beside me, 3 feet left, his shovel scraping steady, his grunts low, his red hair plastered with sweat under his helmet, his hands steady where mine shook. "Gotta make it deep. Johnny, keep the bastards out," he said, half serious, half joking, his voice a tether I clung to. I shoveled harder, the blade biting deep, my shoulders screaming, my back bending, the hole growing, 2 feet wide for feet long, 3 feet deep by 1800, the sky a dark bruise overhead, the jungle's hum louder, bugs buzzing close, mosquitoes whining in my ears, their bites stinging my neck, red welts rising fast. Eddie and Big Mike worked 10 yards right, Eddie's shovel slipping, his glasses sliding down his nose, his breath fast. "This is crazy," he panted, and Big Mike tossed dirt like a machine, his big hand steady, his hole already chest deep. "Keep up, kid," he rumbled, his voice calm, a rock in the chaos. I pictured Ohio, Dad digging post holes in the backfield, his flannel shirt rolled up, the dirt dry and warm under a July sun, Mary and skipping nearby, her pigtails bouncing, her voice calling, "Faster, Johnny!" Mom watching from the porch, a glass of lemonade in her hand, the ice clinking soft, her smile warm. This wasn't that. The dirt here was cold, wet, clinging to me like a shroud, the jungle a beast breathing around us, the canopy swallowing the last light, the air thick with rot and damp, my hands raw, my fingers cramping, the shovel heavy as I stabbed down again. Hayes circled, 20 yards out, his flashlight flicking on, a thin beam cutting the dusk. "Faster, Carter! You're not on a damn picnic." I gritted my teeth, my breath puffing white, my arms trembling, the hole deepening, the side slick, crumbling under my boots, water seeping in, a puddle I couldn't stop, my fatigue soaked to the thighs, my M14 propped against a root, its barrel gleaming faint, a cold promise I didn't want to keep. By 1830, it was done, a ragged pit, water pooling 2 inches deep, the walls uneven, mud sliding back in, the jungle dark around us, trees 10 yards off, their shadows long and twisted, the air humming loud now, bugs alive, their noise a wave I couldn't escape. I slid in, my boots splashing, the cold biting through my soles, my fatigue sticking to my legs, my knees bending as I crouched, the M14 across my lap, its weight grounding me, its stock digging into my thigh. Tommy dropped in beside me, 3 feet left, his knees brushing mine, his helmet tilted, his breath sharp. "Home sweet home, huh?" he said, his voice low, his eyes glinting in the dark, his hands resting loose on his rifle. I nodded, my chest tight, my fingers tracing the M14's barrel. The jungle closing in, Hayes' flashlight sweeping 20 yards off, eyes open, ears sharp. "Charlie's out there." My heart thudded, my hands gripped the rifle. Yesterday's ambush flashing, bullets blood green, and I wondered if I'd hear it again, if I'd live through this night, the bugs starting their scream, my skin prickling, my fear rising slow, a tide I couldn't push back. Night crashed down by 1900, a thick black curtain over the jungle, the last purple gone, the stars faint through the canopy, cold and far, like eyes watching me squirm. The foxhole was tight, 2 feet wide, my shoulders brushing the dirt walls, my boots sloshing in the puddle, my olive-drab fatigues heavy with mud and sweat, my M14 propped against the edge, its barrel cool against my hand, its stock pressing my side. Tommy slumped beside me, 3 feet left, his helmet tipped over his eyes, his breath slowing, his hands loose on his rifle, a soggy cigarette but tucked behind his ear, gonna sleep like a king. He mumbled, his voice thick, fading, and I envied him, my eyes wide, my pulse racing, my ears still ringing from yesterday. Crack, 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 the ambush's echo, the buzz of bullets I couldn't unhear. Then the bugs came alive, a hum at first, soft, creeping, then a roar, 1,000 voices screaming, sharp and relentless, filling the dark like a storm I couldn't outrun. Mosquitoes hit first, whining close, their bites stinging my neck, my hands, my cheeks, red while swelling fast, the itch burning, my nails scratching till they bled, blood mixing with mud under my fingers, the sting sharp as needles. Crickets joined in, their chirps a high-pitched wail, drilling into my skull, their legs rubbing somewhere out there. 5 yards, 10, a sound that clawed at me, unstopping, unending. Bigger things clicked, beetles, maybe, or cicadas. 10 yards right, their shells snapping like dry twigs, a rhythm that mocked my heartbeat. My breath catching, my chest tight, my hands fumbling for the M14, my fingers tracing at steel, cold and real, something to hold on to. I slapped my face, a mosquito smearing black across my palm. It's got slick with my blood, and cursed, "Shut up, damn it." My voice a whisper lost in the noise, my hands shaking, my skin crawling, the welts throbbing, the itch of fire I couldn't put out. Tommy stirred, muttered, "They're singing us to sleep." Johnny, his voice slurring, his head sinking, his snores starting, a soft, jagged hum against the jungle scream, his chest rising slow, his hands limp. I couldn't sleep. Every snap, every rustle jerked me up, my rifle lifting, my eyes straining into the black, the jungle of void beyond the hole, my breath held, my heart pounding. Was it Charlie? A twig cracked, 10 yards left. My head snapped, my M14 up, my finger hovering, my voice a hiss. Who's there? Nothing, just the wind, maybe, or a rat, its claws scratching dirt. But my pulse went slow, my mouth dry, my hands trembling, yesterday's bullets buzzing in my mind, the green swallowing me again. Back home, I'd lain in the fields with Mary and her hair brushing my arm, her voice soft. Count the crickets, Johnny, their hum a lullaby under Ohio stars, the grass cool, the night safe, her laugh a warmth I'd carried here. Now they screamed 1,000 knives in my ears, and I pressed my back to the dirt wall, the cold seeping through my fatigues, my knees pulled tight, my hands shaking, the M14 my shield, my sanity. Midnight ticked by. 0015 on my watch, the dial glowing faint, the hands crawling, every second heavy, the bugs louder, their noise a wall I couldn't climb, my fear rising hot and sharp, choking me, my eyes stinging, my breath hitching, a sob I wouldn't let out, my teeth sinking into my lips, salt and blood on my tongue. "Get it together, Johnny," I whisper, my voice cracking, drowned in the hum, my hands gripping the rifle. My knuckles white. Eddie's voice drifted. 10 yards right, a soft whimper. "God, please stop," his breath fast, his glasses clinking as he shifted, and Big Mike hushed him, his drawl low. "Breathe, kid, just breathe." Steady, calm, a rock I couldn't reach. I wanted that, someone to pull me back, but I was alone, Tommy snoring, the bugs relentless, my fear a beast. I wrestled in silence, my mind spinning. Bullets yesterday, bugs tonight, blood tomorrow, home fading fast. Hours stretched. 0 to 100, 0, 300. The cold sank deep. My legs numb, my boots sloshing, my fatigue stiff with mud, the welts pulsing, the itch of torment I scratched raw, my nails bloody, my skin screaming, the jungle alive, its noise a weight crushing me, my chest heaving, my eyes wet, tears I fought back, my breath ragged. Not now, not here. I hissed, my voice a ghost, my hands clutching the M14. It's still my lifeline. A branch snapped, 5 yards right, my head jerked, my rifle up, my eyes wide, the dark a wall, my breath sharp. What's that? Nothing. No answer, just the bugs, louder, mocking, and I sank back, my hands trembling, my chest tight, my fear a tide. I couldn't stop, my mind flashing. Mom's kitchen, the coffee pot hissing, her hands warm on mine. Dad's barn, his voice steady, "You're tough, Johnny." Marion's laugh, her wildflower smell, her eyes bright under the stars. They were slipping, fading under this scream, this hell, and I gripped the rifle tighter, its barrel cold, its weight real, the only thing keeping me here, keeping me from breaking, my breath shallow, my eyes burning, the night endless, the bugs of war I couldn't fight, my fear a shadow I couldn't kill. Dawn crept in slow. A gray smear through the canopy by 0500, the bugs fading, their scream dropping to a hum, the jungle waking soft, birds chirping high, leaves dripping, the air cool and damp, a faint mist curling 10 yards out. My eyes burned, gritty from no sleep, my body stiff, every joint aching as I shifted in the foxhole, my olive drab fatigue soaked, mud caked to my elbows, my boots heavy with water, My M14 slick would do across my lap, its barrel cold against my thigh. Tommy stirred beside me, 3 feet left, groaning as he sat up, his helmet crooked, his face smudged with dirt, his breath sour. Hell of a night. Huh, Johnny? I nodded, my voice gone, my throat raw from whispering to myself, my hands trembling, the fear still there, a bruise I couldn't shake, the bug's wail echoing in my skull, my chest tight, my eyes stinging with tears I'd held back. I climbed out, my boots slipping on the slick edge, my arms shaking as I hauled myself up, mud sucking at my soles, my fatigues sticking to my legs, my knees popping as I stood, the M14 slung over my shoulder, its strap cutting into the welt it had carved since Fort Dix, its weight dragging me down, a reminder of yesterday, of tonight. The jungle stretched around, trees 10 yards off, their trunks dark and wet, roots twisting through the mud, the sky pale gray, heavy with clouds, the air cool against my sweaty skin, my welts red and swollen, throbbing under my sleeves, the itch still burning, my nails bloody from scratching. Eddie crawled out 10 yards right, his glasses fogged, his face pale, his hands clutching his rifle. I hate this damn place, he muttered, his voice shaky, his breath puffing white, and Big Mike followed, his big frame steady, his hands steadying Eddie. You made a kid, he said, his drawl low, his silver ring glinting through the mud, his eyes calm where mine weren't. I didn't feel it. Made it. The night still clung to me, the bug scream, the snaps in the dark, the fear that had choked me, my hands still shaky, my legs wobbly, my breath short. Hayes called us in, 20 yards off, his flashlight off, his voice rough. Pack it up, we're moving. I grabbed my shovel, my hands raw, my fingers cramping, and started filling the hole. The dirt crumbling back in, covering the puddle, the mud, the night I'd survive, my arms heavy, my breath puffing in the dawn chill, the earth cold against my knuckles, mud smearing my fatigues higher, my boots sinking with every scoop. Tommy shoveled beside me, 3 feet left, his blade tossing dirt fast, his grin faint. Next time we get a damn roof, Johnny, he said, his voice hoarse, his eyes tired, and I smirked, my lips cracked, my throat dry. The jungle quiet now, the bugs gone, their noise a ghost in my head, my hands trembling as I scooped. The march back was slow, 2 miles to Campanari, my boots squelching, my fatigue stiff with dried mud, the M14 bouncing against my back, the wire glinting a mile off, a promise of rest I didn't trust, not after last night, not with war's claws so close. My legs ached, my knees creaking, my shoulders slumped, the welts itching, the bites stinging, my skin raw under my sleeves, my breath shallow, my eyes gritty, the jungle fading behind us, trees thinning, the ground firming, the red dirt a base ahead, dry now, crunching under my boots. I pictured Ohio, Mom at the stove, bacon sizzling, her voice soft, mourning Johnny. Dad in the barn, his hammer clanging, his pipe smoke curling. Mary and in the field, her laugh bright, her hands tugging mine. But they were far faint, drowned by the bug's scream, the ambush's echo, the mud I couldn't wash off, my hands shaky, my chest tight, my mind spinning. Yesterday, tonight, tomorrow. We hit base at 0800, the tent canvas flapping 10 feet up, the red dirt dry under my boots, the air warming with morning sun, a faint heat cutting the chill, the camp buzzing, chopper spinning 300 yards off, jeeps rumbling, voices shouting. I dropped my pack, the thud dull, my M14 beside me, its barrel gleaming faint, my hands on my knees, staring at the ground. Mud flaking off my fingers, my welts red, my skin raw, my mind replaying the night. Bugs, snaps, fear, Tommy snores, Eddie's whimpers, Big Mike's calm. Tommy lit a cigarette, 3 feet left, smoke curling slow. Okay, Johnny, he asked, his voice low, his eyes searching, and I nodded slow, my voice a rasp. Yeah. But I wasn't, not really, the ambush and the foxhole of weight I carried, a scar I couldn't see, my hands trembling, my breath short, the jungle's scream still in my ears, my fear's shadow I couldn't shake. So that was February 13th, 1968, a night sunk in a foxhole, my first real dance with the jungle's dark heart, bugs screaming till my ears bled, fear wrapping me tight till I nearly cracked, my M14 the only thing keeping me from falling apart. Yesterday, February 12th, I'd faced an ambush, 50 shots in the shadows, bullets buzzing my head, My olive drab fatigue soaked with mud. Pleiku's red dust, a faint memory under this jungle's grip. And now this, a dirt pit that stripped me raw, turned me inside out, left me shaking. Tommy slept through it, his snores a lifeline I couldn't reach. Eddie whimpered 10 yards off. Big Mike held steady like always. And me, I fought tears, 20 and scared stiff. The bugs of war, I couldn't shoot. Their noise a blade carving me up. My hands trembling, my breath short, my eyes burning with tears I wouldn't let fall. It's not done. War's not done. And a week from now, February 20th, I'll be back here, rain pounding the tent, my hands holding Mom's first letter, her words smudging under the downpour, my heart breaking with a homesickness I can't outrun. Ohio calling me back through the wet pages, her voice in my head, a fight to keep it alive. That's what's ahead. Rain, ink, memory. And I'll tell you about it, quiet and real, one grunt's whisper bleeding into the next. Stick around. I'll let you in, soft as a breath, raw as the mud still under my nails.